America, it's your boys, and today we are
going to talk about my top 5 favorite mods on the Raptor R to date, because it's a fluid thing. It's always evolving. We're always getting more things, trying out new things. So we're going to go over the top 5.
We're going to work from 5 all the way down to the #1 favorite mod on this truck. Let's get going.
Okay, so this is number 5. Swarfworks was the first to come to market, and I think they're the only one at this point that comes out with a trailing arm skid for the Gen 3. The best part about it is it just absolutely looks killer. It's one of the coolest aesthetic mods that I think I have, but functional as well. There's a lot of hype in the world of trailing arms for the Gen 3. There's a lot of companies building billet trailing arms, and I really wanted some of those billet ones. I ordered them clear back in the beginning when I bought the Orange 21, and I put them on, and within 2 weeks I had creaking and cracking because of the steel joints, which is another reason why I haven't done mid-travel and gone crazy with the suspension on this, because I want it to be quiet and comfortable for the road. And all the Raptor builds that we've done over the years, they are for that purpose. There's a whole next level that you can do if you want to sacrifice the ride quality for all the mean suspension that you're probably not going to use, like the power out of the Whipple, but they're cool to have. This is one thing that I noticed when I took the trailing arms off the first time, is trailing arms actually twist, specifically the upper ones. When the axle articulates from side to side, that the arm is actually twisting. Not only are we getting flex in the joint, we're getting flex in the arm itself, and that's mostly the top. So the top, I am trying a billet arm by Fouts Motorsports, and he has put some funky joint in the top, so I don't have those metal Heim joints. I'm kind of trying it out just on the uppers right now, and for the 6 months I've had them on, I haven't had any noise. I think it's called a Johnny joint, I don't know, but it's not a metal to metal, it's a greasable joint. It's performed great so far. Most importantly, I haven't had any noise out of it, so love it.
Okay, moving on. All right, number 4.
Number 4 is Starlink. This is my little Starlink mini dish.
Little baby.
It is so awesome because it keeps me connected, my wife and my kids,
to the internet, to Instagram.
It connects me to my family.
To buying stuff online, to buying more mods.
I choose to do this so I can have signal off the grid, and if you get into trouble off the grid, this is your way to get help to you. I love that Paul at Swarfworks made this mount. You can take your DeWalt battery.
That slides right on.
Slides
the battery.
right onto your battery.
Clunk.
And then the mini dish slides right on. And then
Dish. That's freaking sweet.
I turned it on, and we were without internet at the office a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
For 3 days. I just brought 3 or 4 of these batteries and put it on out in the parking lot, and we had internet. We had high-speed internet, okay? This is like 200-300.
We probably had internet, but it was only like 1 or 2 bars, which is not enough. And so I was like, we need fast, high-speed.
This just goes off, lay it over the mount, we slide it, and it plugs the power in.
Sweet.
And it's in place.
It's not going.
That ain't going nowhere.
This is the power supply that comes through.
It brings power through the light. Starlink mount is the 3rd brake light that Paul at Swarfworks makes. It's just absolutely awesome, and he's the only one right now making
an adapter for the Starlink. This one's a little different though.
This one's different. This is a prototype. You're not going to get the orange logos here.
We'll show that on screen right here so you guys can see, but it's very similar, but this one's just a teeny bit different.
Yep. Anyway, one of those mods that you can't go off-road without.
Camera comes through here. You have your amber lights.
For chase.
Main light.
And then we have the main one for clear light that will let us see behind, or if you want to flash somebody that's got their high beams on in your rearview mirror, this will blaze them.
Subarus just blaze them.
Subarus. They're aimed right at Subaru height. So that's the best.
So hateful. Subaru. For the record, my first car was a Subaru, so I know the pain that you Subaru guys are going through. There is hope in the future. There's a Raptor in your future.
Number 3, favorite mod, brand new, and this is the first one from Swarfworks. It's his Gen 3.5 modular front bumper light bar with billet mounts that hook to the factory brackets, and then this bar that bolts down to that, so I can have complementary powder coat on the brackets that match the tow hooks. But this freaking light bar is so sick. It's got the natural curve of the front bumper area, and these LP9s are just absolutely perfect.
So good looking, dude. They're huge.
When you're looking at it from a distance, you'll notice that I have the headlights tinted a little bit. The actual LP's tinted to kind of aid in that blacked out look. it's tinted PPF, so it's the same material that we have on the lights. My last 3 Raptors have run the Onyx 6 arc bar. This light here is, I want to say, almost twice the light of a Onyx 6. I've got 2 lasers here in the middle that are sending spots clear to China, and then these are wide cornering on the side that give more light off to the side. This is definitely more light than the Onyx 6 that I had on my previous 2 Raptors. So with this Swarfworks light bar, the things that I like that set it apart is A, it's made for the modular bumpers in the 37 package and the Rs. I like the way it mounts. These mounts don't touch the bumper. They hover above the bumper on those nutserts that come out of the bumper from Ford. So we don't have anything metal or hard touching the bumper. It's literally hovering above it, so it's not scratching it. So when you take it off, you're not going to have a big old gnarly gouge underneath it. So that's what I like about those. And then the light bar, I have a spot here where I mount my sand flag. I've already gone through 1 sand flag. Don't buy your sand flags on Amazon.
Yeah.
But multiple mounts for all kinds of adjustments. You can have, if they're smaller lights, you can put 5 on here, 5 or 6 or 7, all kinds of options with this modular light bar setup. So
coming in at number 2 is this awesome
protection film made by XPEL, and it's the Stealth. We had our awesome friends at A Shade Above Window Tinting and PPF in Layton, Utah do the install for us, and let me tell you, the only thing I wish at this point is I would have done it when it was new, because we use these trucks. We get so many comments of people saying, that's a $100,000 truck or whatever.
Why would you drive it out there?
Why would you drive it out there? Literally had a guy get upset at me because I had his dream truck and I wasn't just parking it in the garage.
Yeah.
And then I get a whole bunch of other people like, so glad to see you're using it for what its intended purpose was, which is off-roading. And off-roading comes with scratches. It was scratched to death. So that's another reason why I went with the Stealth version, which turns it into a satin or a matte finish. There's a lot of scratches that this covered up, and this Stealth covers up scratches. They buffed some of the bigger stuff out, but it covered all of the scratches. This stuff right here, these pillars panels, right here,
those are the
gloss.
They're the most evident spots. Like mine is just tiger stripes.
They're gloss, and so you look at them and they scratch. This PPF was installed right over the top of all of those scratches.
That's awesome.
Can't even see a scratch. So it's good at covering up. The high wear spots in the Raptors are right here. They're getting a lot of rocks. So that was kind of dinged up. So it's hard to keep that looking nice, even, you know, before or after PPF. But the look, it completely changed the look. I didn't like the stock graphics either. I didn't like the color. I didn't like the stripes. So the only thing we've replaced at this point was the Raptor. We took off that big R on the side. It's like, why would you take off the R? That's like
taking the badge off of a Ferrari. But here's the thing. I don't care if people know that it's an R. I know that it's an R.
And if they can't hear that it's an R. Leia is the owner, and her and her crew just absolutely slayed it on this truck. It just absolutely is awesome, and it cleans so much better. So anybody that knows dark vehicles knows that they usually will never buy another dark vehicle because they're so hard to keep clean.
Yeah.
The best vehicle color that I've ever had was Avalanche Gray, for looking clean no matter what, because it was the color of scratches. It's the color of water deposits. This will be the last dark vehicle I purchased just for that. This is the first dark vehicle I've ever purchased, and probably the last one. The lighter colors just hide scratches much better.
And now the last thing, the thing you've all been waiting for, the favorite mod of all your mods. What is it?
It's the Whipple supercharger.
I think it's pronounced Whipple.
You're saying it weird.
Saying what weird?
It's Whipple. Probably the most expensive mod to date, for sure. When I was ordering the Whipple, I got nothing against black superchargers, but I just wanted to have there be some contrast when I lifted the hood. So it's an upgrade for cost. But I have a friend in the Raptor community who has an R also with a Whipple, and he says it's literally like bolting a Toyota engine on top of your engine, adding another 260, 270 horsepower. Now these numbers aren't from my personal dyno experience, they're from multiple other people online that are putting Whipples on and getting their dyno results. That is a heck of a lot of horsepower, and what I've noticed is when you're in the throttle and you're accelerating and you let off the throttle, the boost lingers for a couple of seconds. So your foot's off the pedal and you still feel the acceleration from it.
Oh, it looks so good.
It was a great install. Like I said, it took me a little extra time because I hadn't done this exact job. But now that I've done it and know what to expect, I could do it in a fraction of the time. This is a match made in heaven because right now, the Whipple is the only one Ford allows into their computer systems. A lot of questions that I've got online is, how do you make it work with the stock fuel delivery system? And it's like, well, Whipple, along with the supercharger, gives a tune, and they've done extensive testing on not only the Coyote platform, but they've done testing on the Raptor R. When you buy a Shelby Raptor R, it's going to have this same Whipple on it. When you buy a Hennessy, their Hennessy 1000, it's going to be a Raptor R with this Whipple on it, with Whipple's tune. The factory injectors keep up with the fuel flow, everything. I'm probably looking at downpipes and possibly headers. I don't know about headers, but for sure downpipes in the future for a little bit better breathing. But right now, holy cow, it's more than I'll ever use. Get the other question is like, when will you ever use that much horsepower? Probably never, but it is awesome to have it.
We like to just have it.
So we have it.
That way we have it. That way you have it.
When we're at the sand dunes, which I love to do sand dune stuff, having the power in the sand is going to be a game changer because that's where you use all of the power is when you're traversing through sand. It's usually pedal to the metal in the sand, and the more power you have, the faster and better you'll go in the sand. So that's what I'm excited for the most. But the Whipple brings the most smiles per mile.
Boo! Is that something from their website?
Most exciting things about the R. Holy crap. Zing zang.
Awesome. Zing zong. Oh, sweet, good times.
It's all good times. It's all about the good times. We enjoy living in Utah. We enjoy the outdoors. We enjoy anything that has to do with Ford Raptors and off-road adventure. But more importantly, we enjoy and appreciate
God, family, and country.
Sterling's Wild West.